guys, what's going on? Drewzy here, and we are trying to beat the infamous level 60, the final mission of the PvE game mode here within South Park Phone Destroyer. As I'm recording this video, this is the highest level that you can obtain, and as you see, I'm changing my deck around behind me because the deck that I tried multiple times to get this done did not work. So I actually tried a build that I noticed another YouTube video, and I noticed some other people talk about that they were able to beat the game with through other social media outlets. So I decided to build this deck. I tried to showcase Mr. Hanky and think that I could get it done with him and or a whole bunch of different spawn units, but this deck is pretty easy to build, and as you can see, I have PC Principle in the deck, which is kind of weird. I can't think of any other deck that I've ever seen that had PC Principle in it, so some of you may not have some of these cards. I will go over these cards in more detail towards the at the end of the video, but I want to showcase the build for you. Some of these cards are completely replaceable, and probably there are some better options now, but this deck actually worked for me, surprisingly enough. But that's the deck in its finality, and let's just go ahead and get right into the gameplay, and I'll kind of explain the final level as we go along. So as you can see, we're going to be playing against Grand Wizard Cartman. This is episode 12, stage 5, which is the final stage of the game. Now allegedly there are 3 different endings to this game. I don't know which one I end up getting, and I may or may not show it at the end of the video, but we're going to go ahead real quick and wait for it to load up. And here we go at the start. Now, one big thing that I will emphasize, that I've emphasized in other PvE videos, is I've played this level about 6 times at this point. Yes, it's kind of luck as far as what cards you start with, but understand that this game will always be, at least at the beginning phases of it, before you get to Cartman himself, all of the stuff that you see will not be subject to change, because all of it is standard, and it's the way it's going to be throughout the time that you're going to be playing this game. So I'm pretty much just trying to get as many fighters out as I can to get ready for this ridiculous amount of swarm that kind of takes place in the beginning. I use Program Stand's Freeze to take out of it. I have multiple cards that are really good at wiping out a bunch of different swarm units. I've got Nathan, I've got Aerostorm, and Aerostorm is one of those cards, like I said, that is probably replaceable because there are a few of them. And, I don't really know what the best solution is for it. Maybe you guys will kind of know. But as you see, I've got almost all my fighters currently on the battlefield except for the 2 spells, PC Principle, and my rats. So here's where the big units of swarm come. You get a whole bunch of air units and you get a bunch of rats. So I saved my Aerostorm for that moment and wiped all of that out. Now, probably Program Stand's Freeze could have taken out a significant amount of that, but I wanted to make sure I had as many units left because this is where the final stand is about to happen, where Cartman will show himself. One tip I will make is that lightning thing that you see there in the bottom right hand corner, if you're smart, if you're able to get a unit on to attack it, you can actually take it down or do significant damage. As you see, I've almost killed it, but while Cartman's doing his little build up thing at the very beginning of the match. So take advantage of that. Try to take that lightning staff out as quickly as possible. Now, one thing that will change is the units that Cartman spawns will change throughout the times that you fight it. He will spawn the same kind of fantasy units at the very beginning. Once you get through those, it'll be random as far as which fantasy cards he's going to cast out at which time. So the 2 big things is you're going to have that tower there on the left, you're going to have the lightning tower on the right, and then you're going to have these 2 shield towers in the middle of the map. So you're going to try to take those shield towers out as quickly as you can. So as you see here, I pretty much just have Nathan wailing away on that 1 tower, and I get Hook Hand Clyde in here to take out the shielded guy that's about to kill my leader. So now I've got to deal with Timmy, and I've got to deal with Iron Maiden Wendy, but they have to get out of that shield before I'm able to attack them, or else they're going to be invincible while they're rolling around in that shielded area. So Nathan's able to take out the tower by himself and still able to do significant damage and kind of wail away here. Now I'm just kind of biding my time because nobody's getting close enough to Nathan because he's knocking back Iron Maiden Wendy enough for me to wait until Rogue Token gets into the mix. So as Rogue Token gets in here, I try to get Program Stan, I get Butters to support so I can take out this push. Now I've got Stan moving forward very quickly, where I have to wait because Kyle is currently in the shielded mode. So I need to freeze to get Kyle out of the shield, and then able to try to get within the shield with Program Stand to do some damage. Wasn't able to do as effectively as I wanted to, and now I'm just trying to protect Nathan as best I can. So I use a fireball here to wipe out the 2 units not inside of the shield, and the fireball won't work against me with Princess Kenny either. So that was the other reasoning behind my decision making there. So I'm basically just trying to, as quickly as I can, take these shields out. And that's going to be probably one of the hardest things you're going to have to do, is sustain yourself alive while taking out these 2 shield pylons. Because they're kind of a bitch to get to if you don't have units that are dealing with what's charging at you. So I'm just trying to get as many units as I can down to deal with the barrage that's slowly coming at me. I mean, once you get through that first big wave of Cartman spawn units, you're pretty much almost home free from then on out. Butters is probably one of the best to go take out that shield pylon, or any assassin that you prefer. But Butters did a really good job as far as just kind of wailing away, does decent damage, has decent attack speed. As you see, able to speed up my leader to help me take out these 2 roosters coming at me. So I'm able to take out the roosters, able to get another Butters out to take out Rob and Tweak, and was able to take Randy out. Now I'm going to use Stan's freeze to try to get and take out Ike. I wasn't able to do so, however, which really sucked, and then Ike was still in the freeze and able to take it out. Okay, and Clyde is also very effective, as you saw. I used his Roar Cry ability to finish off the tower, because it will go through the shield. So that is one thing that to keep in mind as well. I put Timmy out here because I thought he could soak up enough damage for me to get Calamity Heidi out. Because as you see, I'm down to my last bar, so I'm basically just holding on for dear life. I'm going to get Dog Poo in here with Calamity Heidi, but unfortunately Kyle's still in the shield, so I have to kind of push him back. I'm able to get in there, do enough damage to get him out, and now I've got my units going in. Dog Poo seems to be going for Cartman, who's going to be doing a ton of damage to you, so you're going to need some characters that are going to have enough sustainability to stay alive. I've got Timmy in here. I used Jimmy to try to hit Rogue Token. Unfortunately was unable to do so before he got into the shield pylon. But I believe that Timmy and Jimmy do take the pylon out, so now he no longer has the shield capability. So now I should hopefully have the advantage if I play my cards right. I was hoping that Clyde would go and try to take out Craig. Unfortunately, he did not. So then Dougie now is charging at me, able to take Dougie out before he gets to my leader, which is pretty much the main thing that I'm going to have to focus on from here on out. As you see, I have a little glitch where my phone, sometimes when I'm trying to drag my cards in, my phone basically freezes. And that happens maybe a few times in this match, so I do apologize for any of those freezes. Shield Maiden, when he comes out, pretty much decimates my Clyde there. But I'm able to get Calamity Heidi out, along with my 2 ranged units, able to pretty much deal with Iron Maiden Wendy once her shield goes down. Now it's just Timmy to deal with, so I get Stan to try to hopefully stop Kenny from killing any of my ranged units. As you see, Nathan, again, just coming in the clutch, able to just poke away at Cartman right now to try to hopefully get his first bar down. Unfortunately, Nathan's going to die to these rats, so I'm going to have to get Jimmy out here to protect me against the rats, because pretty much I don't want to take any damage at this point, being down to my last bar. I'm going to call my rats out to try to kill Timmy as quickly as possible, and to distract Clyde for Clyde's charge that he had coming on. I actually didn't notice that Clyde was going to be cast at that point. I was able to get lucky that I had rats out to kind of stop that push. Now, to be honest, I didn't think I was going to be able to stop what is about to come at me, because I was struggling to get my energy back as quickly as I wanted to. But I'm glad that I used Program Stand to take out Craig here first before going over to get Timmy, because Timmy was about to charge up, able to then get Clyde to luckily take out Timmy, and then now able to focus in on Token, who will kill Program Stand, but Clyde should be able to take Token out, especially before Kyle's able to put his charge up. So that's my main thing of getting Timmy out there to try to stop Token before Kyle makes him invincible, which I'm just able to do just in the nick of time before Ike comes into play. So Ike comes in here, Calamity Heidi's going to wail away on that, along with Timmy's charge attack. And then now it's just Kyle to deal with Program Stand. I mean, the tips that I'm going to have as far as the cards, get your fighters out as much as possible. Try to help keep your ranged characters alive. Obviously, you want to take those 2 shielded towers out as quickly as humanly possible, whether with assassins or hopefully you get fighters in there to be able to take them out. But this deck works, guys. It's pretty simple. It's pretty easy to do. You're going to need at least level 2s and 3s, preferably, because as you see, it's level 3s that you're fighting against. So Timmy's going to come in here. Labard, Jimmy's in here along with the Cox, but I'm able to get PC Principal in here to push most of that away. But then again, my phone screws up yet again, so it freezes. Able to get back into the match, and then I'm able to get Clyde to poke away at Dougie, but Dougie unable to block because I try to use Jimmy there to block, which was able to work out in my favor. Able to stop Randy from summoning anymore, even though he summons right at the end. And then I've got PC Principal and Dog Poo dealing with Stan the Great. Stan the Great able to not go down because I pushed him away. And now Robin Tweet comes in, who can't heal anybody because there's nobody left alive. But Butters should take this first bar away. And I've still got a pretty nice push coming, because now I've got Jimmy, who was boosted by Butters, along with Dog Poo and PC Principal. Clyde's going to take out PC Principal, which is okay. But then Dog Poo also dies as well as Jimmy, and I've only got about a bar and a half down. So Nathan's there. I got Program Stan. I'm probably going to use Rats if I'm not, or I just let Kenny just go ahead and die. Luckily, he did get killed by Nathan, so unfortunately Nathan loses his attack strength for a little bit. And Program Stan I know is going to die, but I need his freeze just in case. So I'm going to freeze here real quick, or try to freeze real quick before he died. Unable to do so, but able to take out Ike very quickly as Nathan's got all of his strength back. And I've now got Jimmy going at it. I've decided to use PC Principal here. Maybe not the best move that I've ever made, but I thought that with his tank ability I would be able to keep Nathan alive a little bit easier, and he'd be able to do more damage. Now I wish I would have had Dog Poo down further on the right to be able to deal with Shield Maiden Wendy, because Maiden Wendy's going to kill PC Principal very easily. But I do now have Dog Poo on Cartman, and Nathan is able to distract along with Clyde, so I'm able to get the second bar down. So now I have to stop, hopefully, probably one of his last couple of pushes. I get the Rats out real quickly to try to deal with Kyle as quickly as possible. And I think I can support Clyde here with Butters. I luckily was able to cast Butters right after the LeBar Jimmy debuff, and Butters is able to get only one hit on Cartman, unfortunately. So I'm trying to save up for Program Stan, and then I'm just biding my time for them to get on my side of the arena so I can do more damage with my new kid's attack. But then here is one of the more interesting moments. I just debate on using a fireball here, decide not to. I get Enforcer Jimmy out here, but now all of a sudden Kenny has gotten 2 hits on my leader, which is not good. I feel a fireball is more valuable here, so able to use the fireball to take Timmy out and be able to get Road Token weak enough that I'm able to just charge, hit him, I believe twice to kill him. So now he's got Randy. And I think Heidi is probably the best solution here, with Timmy hopefully backing her up, I think is the way I go. Or I might use Nathan. No, I use Nathan to deal with the multiple cocks that he's going to be spawning, because the cocks can do pretty decent damage to me. Heidi's able to take him out. Nathan's able to take the 2 cocks out. And now I've got just Nathan by himself, and I'm back and forth debating on what I want to do here. But now Dougie shows up, so I know I need PC Principal to knock Dougie away. As you see, I have 16 health left, and that push from PC Principal literally saved me from imminent death. And now I've got a tank. I've now got a strong fighter. Unfortunately, Clyde's going to kill Nathan. But I've got a decent counter here now going on in my favor. So I need some range to try to back up these 2, tankier units. And then I believe I try to get Butters out here to deal with Tweak. Tweak, again, comes in a little too late for Cartman. He's unable to heal anybody up. And now I've got a range, an assassin, and a tank all going for Cartman here towards the end of the match. I get Clyde just for good measure to hopefully take out Stan. But by then it's too little too late, and I end up beating Cartman finally. This was a difficult match, guys. I was surprised that all of the units were level 3. I thought they'd be level 4, to be honest with you, just because they were level 4 up until this point. But this deck really worked out for me, as I'm going to skip past the ending of the game. So now that we're past the ending, as you see now, 2 of 15 is the next thing. You see the loot will also increase as far as what I get, but I have now beaten the game finally officially for myself. This was my first real conscious effort at trying to beat this, to be honest with you guys. I did it after the Hanky event that took place this last weekend, and decided just to see if I could do it. It took me about 6 or 7 tries. I tried about 4 or 5 different decks, but this is the deck yet again that I used. Sci-Fi Adventure were the cards. Some of these cards are replaceable. I think you could replace Aerostorm because it's really only useful in one incident with that giant amount of swarm there at the beginning. And I don't know what the best solution would be. for you guys as far as replacing that one. I feel like rats play a good part. I feel like you could use either Deckhand Butters or Astronaut Butters, but I like Astronaut Butters' ability to boost you forward, especially if you're trying to go for one of those shielded towers at some point during the match. PC Principal, probably not necessary, but I would suggest having a tank, and since you can't use Cartman, he's probably one of the better options outside of Cartman. Let me know what you guys would use instead. I've seen Man Bear Pig probably used in that slot, but I don't have him, so the PC Principal is the one I had to go with. Dog Poo is probably a near must. Nathan is very useful. Program Stan is probably a must. Calamity Heidi is probably a must. I'd say Clyde is a must. Pirate Timmy is very useful. Fireball is kind of hit and miss, but it's good at stopping some of the bigger, tankier pushes that could come at you during the course of a match. But I just feel like not only are these cards easy to obtain, and a lot of you probably have probably 90% of these cards, I feel like that's what makes this deck that much weirder, is the fact that you don't need a bunch, that I have no legendaries in this deck, guys. I tried plenty of decks with multiple legendaries. It did not work for me. But let me know what deck you guys use to beat level 60. If you haven't beat level 60, I hope this deck helps you out and helps you get through that grind that it is. And, I've had a lot of feedback on the last video, the Jimmy video that I posted. So far, I'll wait a few more days to figure out what I'm going to post next week as far as my best video. As of right now, Wendy is in the lead. So if you would like to see a different thing other than Wendy, please leave a comment down below in this video or in the Jimmy video, and I will tally it up here later towards the end of the week, and then we'll decide next week which one that I'm going to go with. Remember, I'm going to do one of those a week going forward here for you guys here on the channel. But thank you guys for the support. We're over 600 subs today, which is amazing. Thank you guys so much for the continued support throughout the course of this year and going into 2018. But until then, guys, my name's Drewzy.